Hi, I'm Nikki Boussard,
I'm Jana Kaler.
and we are here with Brand Talk Studio, and we have the lovely Kathy Browning with us today.
And she's with Road Warrior Productions.
So, welcome, Kathy. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Wonderful. So, tell us a little bit about what Road Warrior Productions is.
Road Warrior Productions is a culinary foodie event planning service, and I also sell snacks and beef jerky, and I do pairings with beers, craft beers, cocktails, different types of wines, go to different breweries and restaurants and do different pairings so that people can enjoy pulling out all the flavors of the jerky and the snacks with whatever their favorite beverage is. So it's a lot of fun. We go out to different places. A couple of restaurants have even put together entire menus that have showcased the jerky in it. They'll chop it up into little bacon bits and put it in a salad or add it as a topping to a soup. So it's been a lot of fun, and I just really have a good time putting these events together.
Well, that's awesome. What brought you down that road? I mean, beef jerky, that's not something that you kind of just, dream about one night and say, okay, I'm going to go into this event planning business with jerky. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was in business with a partner, and we had an apparel company, and it was a high-end apparel brand. So people would pay $25 for a t-shirt, and we did a lot of events where we were like Biketoberfest, because we're in Daytona, so we did Biketoberfest, Bike Week, a lot of things with outdoor enthusiasts. And oftentimes there would be competitors who would be selling 4 shirts for $20. And it's like, how are we going to get people to stick around a little bit longer and at least look at what we offer? So we decided to bring in beef jerky because a lot of these people are road warriors, and we wanted to give them something to, gnaw on while they were in the tent looking at what we had to offer. And it's like, you'll either walk out with a shirt or a bag of jerky. And eventually it just became so popular that we became a jerky company that sold apparel on the side instead of an apparel company that sold jerky. Unfortunately, that fell apart, and I offered to purchase the jerky business from my partner, and she wasn't interested in that. So I just decided to go forward with it on my own because it was something that I created. I really enjoyed doing it, and I didn't want to give it up because the partnership had failed.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Oftentimes in business, I think entrepreneurs, they actually, if they are in partnership with somebody and it doesn't work out, they end it there. Like they let their vision and their creativity die with that partnership. So that's amazing that you still wanted to move forward. And I'm sure that was not an easy journey to do, but kudos.
That's true. It was not, because we live in a small town. So, you have the people that everybody takes sides, and it was challenging for a while, but I still was not going to let that detour me from doing what I really enjoyed, because when I started doing the jerky, that was something I discovered that I had a knack for, and I just really enjoyed it. I like bringing people together with food.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So does the jerky come in different flavors? Tell us about the jerky.
It does. Yeah, we currently have 6 different flavors, and we're getting ready to add in beef sticks. And then we also, the company that I work with, they're adding a new beef jerky chip, which I'm really intrigued by. So I hope to be adding that in the near future. And I'm also going to be bringing in jerky for dogs.
Yay. Oh, that's wonderful. I bet the jerky for dogs will surpass anything else, because that's
probably so, because we all know everybody spends more money on their pets than they do on themselves. And it's funny because I'll do a lot of events where I'm out doing tasting parties, and inevitably people go, do you have any jerky for dogs? Do you have any jerky for dogs? So that was my sign, probably should bring in some jerky for dogs. And as Jana knows, here in this area, we do a lot of yappy hours. So there's a tremendous potential for me to get out there and work with rescues and help them raise money for their events. And I was talking to Jana the other day about, unfortunately, my cat recently passed away. And while it was a very sad event, when we were there at the vet tech had mentioned that she could no longer take in any more animals because she had like 8 or 9 pets already. So what she did was she goes to the Humane Society and she pays the fees for an animal. So it kind of gave me an idea of I want to put together an event to use the jerky to raise money to pay off all of the fees for cat adoptions.
Oh,
I
that's
do it in honor of my cat. We're
yeah,
going to call it the Betty Ride.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
So,
great.
so beautiful.
So talk to me. I love bubbles and wine, but I like more white wines or rosés. So what kind of jerky would you pair with that?
With the white wine, we actually, believe it or not, I have a red wine and rosemary jerky that pairs really, really well with Pinot.
Oh, that
Ooh.
sounds
So even though it has red wine in it, the
Mhm.
white wine brings out the notes of that rosemary, and it's just a delightful thing. And then we also have like the teriyaki, which is a sweeter wine, or a sweeter jerky. So you could bring in a dry white wine with that, or even a champagne.
Oh, wonderful. So what about bourbon? Talk to me about bourbon. Do you do bourbon?
Bourbon. I'm actually talking with a restaurant right now to do a bourbon and beef pairing. So we're looking at doing 6 different flavors and pairing them with bourbon. So I'm not the expert on that as far as the bourbons, but we're going to bring in a company that does bourbon, and they're going to help us pair those together. So stay
Wonderful.
tuned for that, and we'll invite you up here for this one. You can enjoy that.
Well, we're part of the Key West Whiskey Fest, which is going to be held from May 21st through the 24th. It's the first annual, and it's actually bourbon, barbecues, and blues. So I will talk with you a little bit offline. That may be a great time for you to come down, and we can add in a bourbon and jerky pairing event.
That
So,
would be great.
yeah.
That would be great. I
Yeah,
would love that. Shanna, can I stay at your place?
Yes, you can. Of course. Of course.
Absolutely.
We have that on video.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, one of the things that I've discovered, and Jan and I talk a lot about in business and in life, is that we're all created with this perfect you, this uniqueness. So, how is your uniqueness that you have and the vision and creativity? How do you think that affects others around you? Like obviously you've talked about that you're turning your business into something to help cats and to give back, but that uniqueness, because you've had quite an interesting road of entrepreneurship with different things, so in your journey to get where you're at. So talk to us a little bit about that.
My uniqueness, well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I spent most of my life in the kitchen, in a commercial kitchen, and I worked I worked my way up through being a prep chef to a sous chef, and I worked in some really awesome places where I found out about culinary pairings. So I think that's really helped me. And then I was a food and wine contributor for Yahoo for 7 years and wrote articles about pairings. So I think that all of these paths that I've had, all of them have given me some boost to where I am now. I've learned a skill. I started off, and back in 2000, I was working in a restaurant, and the chef was like Hell's Kitchen Gordon Ramsay style guy. You could never make him happy, and I literally walked out of there in tears because he would just be so belittling, and it was a very difficult and stressful job. And it was on New Year's Eve, and I left, and my husband said, I don't want you going back there. This is a toxic job for you. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't go back there. And so I started a business doing, believe it or not, 20 years ago, I was doing organic snacks and food for people who were looking to make a change in their diet. And I was focused primarily in the corporate world for gifts for realtors and business owners, because back then, people gave gifts. And I think I was just a little too far ahead of my time because people weren't interested in buying the organics at that time. And what that led to, though, was my best friend, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and she was getting all of these gifts from people, and she would call me and she'd go, I got the most beautiful gift, but I can't have it in the house because it's scented and it makes me want to vomit because of the chemo. So it came up with an idea, and I created I took that gift basket company and turned it into what was called Cancer Comfort. And I worked with my friend Pam, and we filled it with things that did not have any scents in them. So we had unscented soaps, unscented deodorants. We had a specific toothpaste that helped with the mouth sores that people get from chemo. And she helped me develop that. And we went, I did that for about 3 years. And unfortunately, my friend passed away. And after that, it was just very difficult for me because every time I'd send these gift baskets out, within a short period of time, I would get a note that person passed away. And it just took a toll on me because it's like every time I send something out, somebody dies.
Right.
And it was hard. I'm an emotional person. So it was difficult for me. And that's kind of how I ended up getting into writing, was I started writing about things instead of actually being hands-on involved. I could write about it. I could put good information out there and help other people that way. But it wasn't affecting me on such a personal level, if that makes sense.
That's
Right.
amazing. Well, I
That
mean,
is
that's
amazing.
yeah, I'm so glad to see that passion though in everything that you do. And what's interesting is just in the short conversation, you've managed to turn your businesses into a way to give back. So that's pretty.
Yeah, I think that's always kind of been maybe that's my uniqueness.
Yeah,
I
it
always
is.
feel like if you give back, you'll receive tenfold if you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're sitting around going, I'm going to do this because I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to, mess with people and just take it over like a lot of nonprofit people do, they use it as a tool to suck people in. I just do it because I like to do it. Sometimes I make a penny, sometimes I'm in the hole, sometimes I break even, but I just do it to give back because that's just what I've always done.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Kathy. Well, tell us where people can go to find more information out about
Road
Warrior
Production.
Come on, say it with me. Road
Warrior Production.
Where can they find information out for you?
You can go to roadwarriorjerky.com, and you'll see all of our different jerky flavors. We also, not only do we offer the 3-ounce bags, but we're called the home of the bagger. We are in the Daytona area, so we have a lot of bikers here, and these are 1-pound bags of jerky, and they fit perfectly in a motorcycle saddle bag.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I know for a fact that she will put together a special basket for you if you're looking for pairing. Like she's got neat little gummy bears that are Prosecco. She's got snacks, so she'll put them together in like a gift basket for you.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes. And I can do anything that people want. So if they're looking for a specific snack, if they want private label snacks, this is something I can do for them as well. Put their logo, their information, and package them up in the way that matches their colors, stick with their brand. I haven't really started promoting that yet, but now might be a good time to do that. I can't do private label jerky because our jerky is made at a USDA facility, and we have to be able to track the cows, and we have a specific label that we have to use. But with the snacks, it's a totally different thing. So if somebody's looking for private label snacks, I can help them with that.
Wonderful.
Or come up with, gift ideas for any, when you buy a home, or even fundraising programs for schools. So there's a lot of things we can do together. I'm here to help if anybody needs any snacks or jerky.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Kathy, so much for joining us. And we will be in touch about the Bourbon Barbecues and Blues event coming up in Key West.
Yes, I would love to be there. So thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on today. It's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.